What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center. And today I'm going to be taking a look at what's coming up for everybody in the month of June. I want to say happy birthday to all the Geminis out there. If you're new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to the channel if you find that this information is helpful for you, if it resonates for you. All the other information you need to know is in the description box below. You can also find information there to book a personal or private reading if you like. And so we're just going to jump straight in. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Aries. We're going to go through all 12 zodiac signs. We're going to begin with Aries. We're going to end with Pisces. And whatever comes out is whatever comes out. And I will let you guys know if I think that it's like career or love or what the energy is suggesting. There will be timestamps for this video, so if you want to go into the description box and see what the timestamp is for your specific sign or the sign that you could be cross-watching for. All right, so we're going to jump straight in and find out what's coming up for everybody. So, starting off with Aries. What is coming up for Aries in the month of June? All right. First card out is Justice, which is Libra energy. You could be dealing with a Libra, potentially. You don't have to be. Next card out is the Hanged Man, which is Pisces energy. You could be dealing with a Pisces. You don't have to be. Some of you, excuse me, some of you might want to take a look at your astrology chart and see if anything is going on with Neptune. The Hangman is Neptune energy as well. All right, we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. So lots of water energy so far. Nine of Swords in reverse. That's always good. And we have a King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We do have Libra there, so double Libra energy. We have Strength, which is Leo energy. The Ace of Swords. And the Empress, which is triple Libra energy. So Libra and Taurus with the Empress here. Then we have Judgment, Scorpio energy, and then we have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, and then we have a Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And wow, underneath that we have 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. So this is what I have for you, Aries. What I gather from all of this is you're finally getting something. Things are changing for the better for you. Like you're finally getting something that something you've been waiting for a long time here. So the Hangman is all about delays. Like you've been waiting for love and relationships potentially for a while, or maybe nothing's been happening for you in the realm of love and relationships for a while. You've just kind of maybe felt stuck, like nothing's really been moving, nothing's really been happening, nothing's really been changing. And then we have the Knight of Cups here, which is love coming in, love coming towards you. There's the Chariot. So basically the Knight of Cups and the Chariot energy are both cards of movement, cards of action, love coming towards you, or maybe you guys moving towards towards somebody. Could go either way. And the Nine of Swords is basically a very stressful, tumultuous, burdensome time is finally coming to the end. For some of you, this is you getting over someone from your past who maybe wronged you or hurt you with the Justice energy here. Could be that King of Swords, doesn't have to be, but it's definitely there. So there's something that really, really, really caused you a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety in your past, obviously, that you're finally getting over all of that. And you're moving forward here with the Chariot energy, but this is also, again, this could be an energy coming towards you or you moving towards another energy. And what Justice is here is Justice is essentially receiving what we give, right? Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word karma, they always think karma is just negative or bad. Because when you hear the term karmic relationships, right, most people, they hear those terms and they, without knowing any better, they associate negativity to it. It's like, oh, it's a karmic relationship. Someone's going to get their karma, right? And that's not what karma is. Karma just means to come back around. That's really all karma is. Karma, there's good karma and there's bad karma. It's not just bad. So if you put out good, if you do good, then good energy is going to come back towards you. If you put out negativity or bad energy, then that negative energy is going to come back towards you, right? And that's why with Justice, Lady Justice here holds the scales. She holds the sword of truth in one hand, and she holds the scales of truth in the other hand. And the scales represent the balance of energy. And her job is to balance energy, to keep the scales even. So if there's, if there's the scales tip too much on one side, then it's going to be balanced with the other side. And so, and I know some people are thinking, well, is there such thing as too much good? Well, no, not really, but we live in a dualistic reality, meaning that bad is going to happen no matter what. So, and good is going to happen no matter what. And so it's up to us to learn how to manage our energy so that, so that we get the things that we want out of life. Now, Justice is a major arcana, so Justice deals with the global impact, like things that are outside of our control. So this is like a universal law. So with all that aside, in the past, you were wronged. And that wrong is being set right. So the thing that was done to you in the past that caused you to be in this Nine of Swords, that energy is being set right. And so because of the way that you've healed, the work that you've done, Justice, good karma, is coming towards you, meaning your blessing. It's taken some time here with the Hangman. The Hangman is also representative of releasing energy that no longer serves us. So the more that you let go of and you release any type of past energy that has harmed you, then the more quickly this new love is going to come towards you here. And I can see it with the Nine of Swords being in reverse here. So the Nine of Swords being in reverse is just proof that you've been doing the work, basically. That you have been letting go of whatever this thing is in the past, whoever this person is in the past. Situation, family, I mean, it could be job, could be anything. It doesn't have to be just a relationship. But whatever hurt you in the past, you're letting go of it. You're seeing the light. You're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and now you have love coming your way. And it's coming probably quicker than not with the Chariot, because the Chariot is probably the fastest moving energy in tarot, because it's a major arcana. Now, again, we do have this King of Swords, which again could be a Libra. Doesn't have to be. It's Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Like I said, we have the strength energy. So this is somebody who, and this could be you too. There's two energies attached to the strengths. It could be you. You're getting your strength, your confidence back up after this period of stress. But this is also somebody who, when you meet them, they have their crap together. This is somebody who's cool, calm, collected, and this person is honest. They're clear on what they want. They're the real deal. The Ace of Swords, the Ace of Truth, victory. This is somebody who means what they say what they mean. And they're very clear, and you're also going to see very clearly when you meet this person with the Ace of Swords, you're going to know. There's a lot of attraction here between you and them. This could be you or it could be them. It could be both of you. The Empress represents beauty, and it's also Libra energy. So there's a lot of attraction. This person's very attractive. You could be very attractive. Most Aries, at least most Aries females, you guys kind of like got the special, the blessings in the gene department. I don't know if I've ever met an unattractive Aries female. Then we have Judgment here. Now, there's two energies attached to this. I have to keep it real. Part of the Judgment could be that somebody could circle back around. There is a little bit of that energy there. So somebody from your past could circle back around. It could be this person, who stressed you out. But this is also you. This is also you learning your lessons, because that's what Judgment is. Judgment is the final evaluation. It's us. It's all the lessons that we've learned before the last major arcana, which is the World card. The World is completion, done. You've learned everything. You've integrated everything. You've finished. You've beat the whole video game. You completed the game. There's nothing left to do. So Judgment is the last step before we reach the World. And so Judgment is learning everything that we need to learn before, the mission is complete, so to speak. So that's what's going on here with Judgment, is you've learned the lessons from your past, but there is a little bit of an energy where you could potentially hear from somebody from your past. It's not very strong, but it is there. We have the Star. This is the light of the end, that light at the end of the tunnel energy that I was talking about here with the Hangman. Hope, healing, your wishes coming true, things looking good for you, moving forward. We have the Queen of Cups. Now, this could be representative. I mean, it's attached to the Knight of Cups. Male or female doesn't matter, but you have somebody coming towards you, and I don't know if it's the King of Swords. I don't know who's who in here. I don't know if this is you. I don't know if that's the other person. It doesn't matter. It's just an indicator that you're going to be meeting somebody. Somebody's coming towards you that you're going to have a strong emotional connection with. That's what this is indicating. And it could lead to the Ten of Pentacles, which is, this could be your forever person. Okay. So that's what's coming up for you. Now, am I saying you're going to end up getting married in June? Probably not. But there's a very strong chance that you could at the very least meet this person at some point during June. Okay. So, I'm not a time lord. I can't predict time. Time is fluent. So we can't, there's lots of things that play into time, like free will, a lot of other unknown variables that could play into this. So, and look, you can't make this up. At the bottom of the deck, you have surrender to divine timing, which is what I was just talking about. So just be open, stay open, keep doing what you're doing. And, as long as your heart is open and you're continuing on the path that you've been going on, some point in the near future, this month, or maybe, in the month to come after that, you could be meeting this person. Now, what you guys need to work on in addition to this, okay? That's why we have the surrender card here. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past, which is this. This is the Nine of Swords in reverse. It's connected to that energy. Let go of the limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. All right. So that's what's coming up. And there's one more at the bottom that I'll show you guys because I just felt led to. Surrender denial. And this one says, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions, which again is also tied to the Nine of Swords. And I feel like you guys are doing that. I feel like you guys have come out the other side of that. So that's what's coming up for you guys. And we'll be checking back in with you guys in, June, July. All right, we have the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy. It's also a card used to be called the Choice, so decisions, making decisions that are based on your heart, your spirit, what's in your highest good. The next card is we have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. So far we have Gemini and Capricorn energy. And I can tell you right now that what I have is I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship going on here. So like the love is like the love energy, and then the Devil would be kind of like the hate energy. And I'm going to show you something in just a second here. I'll hold the cards up a little closer to the camera, but you have very similar imagery. You have the man and the woman, and you have an angel, and then you have the same man and the woman, and you have this demon or this devil. It's kind of like the metaphor of having the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. That kind of thing. And this is the Four of Cups. All right, we have the Star, which is Aquarius energy. So you could be dealing with Aquarius as well. It doesn't have to be. But I'm just letting you guys know what the signs are. Now there's two groups of people with these two cards. And I'm going to explain that in just a second here. So we got two aces. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces energy, the Nine of Swords, the Sun, which is Leo, the Four of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles, a Queen of Swords, and the Seven of Swords, Knight of Cups. Okay, yeah, there's like a whole story at the bottom of the deck here. But we're just going to focus on what we have out here. So basically, there's two different things here. So for the first group of you guys that are Taurus, you've been in a relationship, and I don't know if you're in a relationship with this person or you've been in a relationship with this person. I don't know if you're currently with them or not. I don't know that. I don't know if this is a past person, but it's not a new energy. Okay, so we're dealing with somebody that you do know. So it is a past or a known person, if that makes sense. So the first group of you guys, you've been back and forth with this person in a love-hate relationship, meaning, you know, on one hand, you really love this person. You had a very strong romantic connection with them, maybe even a strong spiritual soulmate-esque or twin flame-ish relationship with this person. But it's also been very toxic. And that kind of brings in the hate dynamic of it. So it's like when things are good, things are really good. And then when things are bad, they're really bad. And despite the good and the bad, it's like you guys can't seem, it's like you can't seem to disconnect from each other, because you're bound by the lover's energy here, but you're also bound by the devil energy here. So it's kind of like, I don't know how else to say it. It's just a love-hate relationship. And so you just keep going back and forth with this person. Things are good, things are not good. Things are good, things are not good. And obviously the devil brings the toxic energy in, but then with the lovers and the star being here, there's like a healing energy. So it's kind of like, it's like, for as much or as often as there's this toxicity, you also, there's some type of healing there, or at least there's a bond or an understanding here. So there's a strong push and pull. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like just a love-hate relationship. What's that saying? There's a saying like, I love you too much to let you go, but I can't, like I hate being with you, but I hate being without you. There's some type of saying, and I can't remember it. It's a famous saying that goes along that goes along those lines there. But that's the first group of you. Now, the second group of you is you were dealing with somebody where in the beginning of the relationship, things were really good. So you met this person, you have a strong magnetic bond with them, a soulmate connection, a twin flame connection. You know, it's a very deep, powerful, spiritual bond that you have with this person. But then, as the relationship progressed, things began to get toxic and difficult. And that's when the devil energy came into play. All right. So again, two groups of people. Group one, love-hate relationship. Group two is started out really good, and then it became really toxic, which brings us to the Four of Cups. So for the love-hate relationship, it's you guys go through these periods of stagnation. You go through these periods of like separation, going through these periods of, I guess this would be more the disconnect, the separation. But then inevitably, one or the other of you, like on this card here, one or the other of you inevitably comes back around to apologize and make up. Like this person back here. They're coming up and finding this person behind the tree, and they're bringing the cup of love again. And then, you know, you guys go back to love, but then eventually you go back to disconnection, and then you go back to separation until one of you guys comes and kisses and makes up. So it's like a pattern or a cycle. Now, group two, things started out really good in the relationship. They got really toxic. And then this is where you're at right now. Because things were so toxic, you guys eventually separated. So this card is really just representing separation across the board. And there's a lot of healing that needs to be done here with the star. So the star is essentially an indicator of what needs to happen. It's like you guys need to heal your side of the road, and then your person needs to go heal their side of the road. And only until you guys heal will you have the truth and the clarity and the victory in this relationship, assuming that that's what you want. If you want to be with this person, if you want this relationship to work, then you're going to have to heal, and they're going to have to heal. So it's not just you. Both of you guys are going to have to do the work. You're going to have to heal from whatever traumas or issues or patterns that exist between you in this relationship. And the same goes for group one. The same goes for you guys that are in the love-hate cycle. So to break that love-hate cycle so that you can just have the love cycle without the devil energy there, you're going to have to heal. So this applies to both groups. And if you can heal, then you'll get the victory that you want in order for this relationship to be healthy. And that will bring a new level of passion and excitement back into the relationship. And it'll be healthy this time. It won't be the toxic type of passion. Because we have an ace, and aces are the possibility, the potential for something new, right? And then we have the Knight of Wands. So basically, if you can accomplish the Ace of Wands, then you can move forward into the Knight of Wands, which is, taking action with this new level of passion that you would both have at that point. But the High Priestess is here underneath that, and I won't go too much into this, but basically, this is just, again, confirming that this is a very spiritual connection, but it's also confirming that there's unknown things that are causing problems here, unconscious, unknown, hidden things that are causing issues here, and those are the things that need to be healed, because the High Priestess has to do with the unconscious, but it's also saying, hey, you guys need to start listening to your inner voice. The answers are inside of you, not out here. Because out here is where the ego is, and that's what's causing all the patterns. You need to get out of your ego, and you need to get into yourselves, and that's because that's where the real problems lie. And you're responsible for your problems, your partner's responsible for their problems. And if you guys can both take accountability for your problems, and you can heal it with that star energy, then this relationship can have essentially a new start, and there's new opportunities here for success. All right, so let's see what you guys need, what else you guys need to focus on. In addition to this, what else do you guys need to focus on here? Well, that's too many. All right, well, I'm going to show you all three, but I'll just do it quickly. So you have surrender to divine timing, you have surrender to your soul's path, and surrender your addictions. And I feel the surrender to your addictions is obviously the devil energy. That's the trauma bond, the cycle of going in and out of the relationship, the love-hate relationship, or group 2, like trauma bonding with this person. So this card here is all about trauma bonding, surrendering your addictions. Now, surrender to your soul's path has to do with you healing yourself and focusing on yourself. With what I said over here with the High Priestess. The High Priestess represents your soul, your intuition, right? Going within. And then you have the star, which is the healing energy. So this card is really essentially saying, if you want to heal this, then you need to focus on you. The path forward in any area of your life is to surrender to your soul's path, not to your ego. In other words, you're going to have to get out of your head and get back into yourself. Getting into your heart, getting into your spirit, getting into your soul, getting into, your divinity, so to speak. All right? And then surrender to divine timing. Meaning, you can't force this. You can't force an outcome. Like, how do I want to describe this? It's not your ego, or it's not necessarily what you do in the tangible realm. Like trying to force an outcome to happen. That's not how this is going to work. That's not how this is going to unfold. Surrendering to divine timing means focusing on healing yourself, and once the healing is complete, which you don't know how long it's going to take. That's why it's divine timing. Because you don't know how long it's going to take to heal. You won't know until you're done. And so nobody knows how long that's going to take. Part of it's, dependent on you starting that process. Part of it's how long are you going to work on it? How much effort are you going to put into it? And then the other part is how long is it going to take for this parts of you to actually be worked through. In other words, for you to see the results of that effort. It's like going to the gym. Like if you wanted to lose 10 pounds, no one can tell you exactly how long that's going to take. They could tell you, okay, if you reduced your caloric intake by this much and you did this much exercise and you did the mathematics, they might be able to give you, somebody out there in the health world might be able to give you a rough estimate of time, mathematically, well, it should take you this long. But it's not going to be exactly, because nobody can predict that. Nobody can predict exactly how your body is going to metabolize and burn off 10 extra pounds of fat, even if you're doing everything that the person tells you to do. You exercise, you eat this, you do it, but nobody can tell you, right? So there's an element of divine timing in here as far as that goes. So that's what's coming up for you, my Taurians, this month. And we will check, obviously, again in July, and we'll see where you guys are at when we get to July. So let's see. Let's see what's coming up for Gemini. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to Gemini. Let's see what's coming up for you guys in your birthday month. All right, for Gemini. What's coming up for Gemini on their birthday month? All right, we have the Empress, which is Libra and Taurus energy. We have the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. So double Taurus energy, technically. The Water Bearer, which is Aquarius energy. We have the Four of Wands here. We have the Moon. Which is Cancer, Pisces energy. All right, we have the Sea Monster, which is Uranus, tied to the planet of Uranus. And I'm going to have to grab the book. This has 100 cards in it. I have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a lot more cards in this. It's a new deck that I just got, so I'm just using it for the first time. We have the Knight of Wands. We have Capricorn, which is the sea goat. And then we have the Sun, which is Leo. And then we have the Queen of Swords, which is your energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Then we have the Nine of Cups underneath that. So you guys, you could be dealing with an Earth sign. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Because we have double Taurus here. Something could have happened to you guys back in Aquarius season. So back in late January through February, something relevant could have happened back in Aquarius season, or you guys could be dealing with an Aquarius or something to do with an Aquarius that has some form of relevancy for you. And I'm not sure what that would be, but let me check. Let me see what this The sea monster stands for independence. Let's see. The creativity of independence and embodies fire energy. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy here. Maintaining freedom requires inspiration and imagination. Follow the heart and try to make the world a better place. The strongest influence for this arcana is between May 12th and June 6th. So a little bit of your energy is tied to this, according to this. So this could be used as a timing card between May 12th and June 6th. So it has to do with your creativity, independence, fire energy, and those dates, May 12th and June 6th. So, we obviously, I'm recording this on June 1st. So, something that could maybe be happening. It's either happened last month on or after May 12th, or something that's going to come up in the next 5 or 6 days. So let's go through this. Let's put all the pieces together. There's a strong pull and a strong connection, or at least a strong attraction here with an earth sign, I feel, because we do have that Capricorn energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles underneath this Queen of Cups here, and then if we go down a little bit further, we have a Knight of Wands there as well. We have the Capricorn card right there. So you could be dealing with an earth sign. You don't have to be, but the energy for it is definitely there. And the Queen of Cups is tied to this Empress energy, excuse me, which is also tied to the Moon, Cancer, Pisces, and also this Four of Wands. So one of two things is going on here. Either you're dealing with somebody who has two different options, because again, if we go underneath this, we go a little bit further down. So we go underneath the Capricorn energy, then we go underneath this Sun energy. We end up at the Queen of Swords, which is your energy. Now, it doesn't have to be you, because we do have this Aquarius card here, but I feel it's tied to you. And technically we do have Libra, but I feel you could have been dealing with somebody who potentially had somebody else in the mix. Because with the Moon being here, that could have been something that was hidden. This person could have been in a serious commitment, or you could have been in a serious commitment with them. One or the other. You either were in a serious commitment with this person and they were hiding the fact that they were dealing with somebody else, or they were in a serious connection with somebody and they could have been hiding the fact that they were dealing with you. Because technically there's 3 females, but I'm going to say it's very possible that the Empress could be this Queen, or this Queen of Swords, or this Queen of Cups. So there could be 2 or 3 different females that this King of Pentacles has been dealing with. So, and with the Sun here, the Sun is indicating that this is all going to come out. The truth is going to come to light if it hasn't already here. And it's even possible with the Sun and the Empress being here. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible that somebody could actually be pregnant, or that it comes out, the truth is revealed that somebody is pregnant. Maybe that's one of the things that ends up being hidden here. So whatever's going on though, this King of Pentacles is kind of like the center of it all. And there's all these female energies surrounding him. And then with the Knight of Wands being there, that's the typical player energy. And the Knight of Pentacles with the Four of Wands and the Empress, that's almost kind of like a married energy. So it's almost kind of like, this person could have he could be married, or they could just be in a serious committed relationship. Maybe they even have children with one of these females, and but then have the other two as kind of like their butt buddies. The Nine of Cups is underneath the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Wands underneath that, and then the Three of Swords underneath that. So yeah, this is like a third party situation, Gemini, unfortunately. Um, I think you're just part of, unfortunately, I think that you're tied up in a love triangle, which is what this is showing me. And I think that what's going to happen, if it hasn't already, this triangle is going to come to light, and then obviously you'll have to decide what you want to do with it once it does. But maybe this reading will help you make that decision. Like, well, now that I know that I'm in a love triangle, or maybe you've suspected that you're in a love triangle, you're like, hey, I'm done with that. No thanks. Not interested. I mean, I don't see that here. I mean, I see that Three of Swords, which is showing heartbreak, but there's nothing else here that's indicating a decision one way or the other. There's no other cards showing that you're making any specific decision yet. Yeah, you can't make this up. Surrender resentment. So this to me is a clear indication that once this information comes out, and maybe this is the first time you're hearing it, or again, like I said, maybe this is the confirmation. Maybe you suspected that this person was being dishonest or unfaithful to you. Maybe you suspected they were dealing with other people, and maybe this is the confirmation that you needed to know that they were. And so what the divine is saying is, once this all comes out, or however this unfolds, if you don't already know about it, the divine is saying, hey, surrender resentments, let it go. Because otherwise that Three of Swords energy that's down here is going to eat you up. It's not affecting this person, and don't worry, this person will get their karma eventually. But you need to surrender. You need to surrender this. And look, you can't make this up. So there you are, down here, and look, there are these people up there in the window making out. I'm just now looking out. I'm like, because this is a new deck for me, so I haven't gone through all the cards. Like when I get a new deck, I don't flip through and look at all of it. I just, I use it, and then when the card comes out, I get to see it for the first time. So it's kind of like, I mean, it sounds kind of corny, but in a way, it allows me to just kind of be as surprised by it. Like, oh, I've never seen that card before. Even though I have the deck, I don't go through and look at all of them. I just use it like I normally would. And when a card that I've never seen comes out, I get to see it for the first time. So I'm kind of seeing this card for the first time, like really looking at it, like the details of it. So yeah, but you can't make this up. There's a love triangle there with the people making out in the window up there. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, surrender resentments. I want to read the card to you. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. And people think that forgiving means forgetting, means not caring about what was done to you. That's not what forgiving is. Forgiving is releasing the negative energy from your body. It's releasing yourself, freeing yourself from the negative energy that sticks with us when we're hurt. Right? Like, why should we continue to spend day after day, week after week, month after month feeling hurt and pain for something that we didn't do to ourselves? That person is the person who hurt us. Why should they be allowed to hurt us again and again and again and again, even if they're gone, even if we've cut them out of our life? Why should we give that person that much power to hurt us and harm us, especially when they're not even in our life anymore, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we should have to be punished and our happiness and our peace, to be affected, for us to be robbed of our happiness and our peace and our fulfillment because we're ruminating on that person. We're holding on to the pain. We're holding on to the thing that they did to us. So forgiving is just releasing it and saying, hey, I'm not going to give you that much power. I'm not going to give you that level of satisfaction. I'm not going to let you negatively hurt and affect me when you were never loyal, faithful, or even good for me to begin with. I'm not going to give you my life, because that's really what we're doing. When we're not forgiving, we're giving that person time and energy that we'll never get back, because time and energy are the two most valuable resources that we all have that we can't reproduce. So every day that goes by that we're fixated on what that person did or how they hurt us is a day that we're punishing ourselves. And we're allowing life to pass us by when we could say, hey, you know what? What that person did, it hurt. I'm going to be human. I'm going to give myself some time to feel this. Give yourself, a week or two, or maybe a month even, depending on what they did to you. But I would say no more than 30 days. And even 30 days can be a lot. But some people spend years holding on to things when you could have moved on. You could have found somebody new who does love you, who will be faithful. When you could be enjoying life and feeling happy, free of that negative energy, right? So that's what forgiving is. That's what this card is saying. Release the negative energy so that person can't continue to hurt you, even if they're not in your life anymore. Why? Why do you want to continue to punish yourself for something that you didn't do to yourself? You're not the one who cheated on you or was unfaithful. They were. So why are you going to continue to punish yourself by holding on to that energy when you could let it go and say, hey, you know what? That just shows me that person was never meant for me, never aligned with me, and it was a lie and it was an illusion. And I can, find the treasure in the pile of shit. I can learn this lesson. I can apply it to my life, become a better person for it, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to be happy, and their loss. That's how you guys should feel and think about this, okay? Unfortunately, not the best message. I wish I could choose the messages. I don't get to choose the messages that come through, but not, don't let this situation ruin your birthday month. In fact, I would say this is your birthday month. Let your birthday month be a new birth, a new beginning. Say, hey, you know what? I'm going to let this shit go, and I'm going to get back out there, and I'm going to go enjoy my life. I'm going to become a better version of me. I'm going to find a better partner, a better person. I'm not going to hold on to this shit. I'm not going to punish myself for something that I didn't do to deserve to feel this energy, right? So, Cancer. What's coming up for my Cancerians in June? 1 month away from your guys' birthday. What's coming up for Cancer in June, please? All right, we have the World in reverse. So you're either stuck in a cycle or something that needs to be completed, something that needs to end, has not come to an end. So there's a need for completion here. There's a need to close out a cycle. There's a need to finish something. And it's a big deal because it's a major arcana, and it's the last major arcana. So it's a very big deal here. We have the Page of Cups. Could pertain to love and relationships. Could pertain to creative projects as well, because the Page of Cups is also kind of the intuitive, the creative, the fashionista, the musician. the artist, all that energy is in the Page of Cups as well. Five of Cups here. Some type of loss, grief, loss, regret. Ooh, a Tower. Okay, so something major. There was a major disruption, a major ending, something that blew up in your life. And you're still holding on to it with the Four of Pentacles, despite the fact that it blew up. So something devastating happened in, I'm guessing, a relationship. I mean, it does look like it's a relationship, probably more so than career or anything like that. And what I'm seeing here is I've got two energies here of holding on, but they're slightly different. This is a wishful thinking, right? The Page of Cups is wishful thinking, like hoping that this situation that has blown up and ended will somehow come back to life. Like it's almost like you're waiting for something, you're waiting for a different outcome, is what I'm getting here. You're still holding on to a situation that has ended. There was a major ending because we have the World in reverse and we have the Tower here. The Five of Cups shows that it's already ended. So this is something that has already happened or is about to happen unexpectedly this month. But I feel intuitively that for most of you, it's something that's already happened. You're still holding on to it. And there's this wishful thinking. There's this hope that something, somehow it's going to come back to life. It's almost kind of like, and I feel like there's at least one more card. Yeah, I kept waiting for one more card to come out. I was like, I know there's one more in here. I can feel it. One more card wants to come out, and it wasn't coming out. But it finally did. It's the Page of Pentacles, which is this. It's the double energy. The same message twice, just in two different cards. So I'm actually going to put these next side to side. Yeah, and there you are. Cancerian energy. Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So you're showing up in your own reading right here at the bottom of the deck. You feeling very emotional about this situation. There's a lot of emotions, and obviously because you're Cancer and you guys are the, you guys are, I don't know. It's debatable who's more sensitive, you or Pisces. It's debatable. I feel Pisces kind of gets the rap for being maybe the more, intuitive, mysterious, spiritual one. And Cancer, you guys get kind of stereotyped as being the more sensitive ones, right? Which is why your sign is often referred to as like, I guess the crab, and it's like Cancerians, withdraw because they're super sensitive or whatever the stereotype is for that. But that's neither here nor there. So here you are at the bottom of the deck. Wheel of Fortune is just indicating that there's a major change. It's a cycle, a whole, a turning point, a major turning point in your life here has occurred. And then we have this male, King of Wands. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. You don't have to be, but you could be. It could be in Aries with the Tower, because the Tower is represented by Mars. But again, it doesn't have to be. But we do have a King of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. And I'm just going to peek, yeah. And underneath that, we have the Two of Swords here. So not seeing eye to eye, not on the same page anymore, disconnected basically. So going back to what I was saying here is, and we had the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, but they're both telling the same message. there's this part of you that, so you have these Five of Cups here. Actually, this is better. This is actually a better card to use. We're going to use your card, the Queen of Cups here. You see how this queen here is almost kind of like looking in this cup, like she's waiting, but the cup is empty. It's like she's looking in this cup, hoping that this fish will pop out. She's looking in this empty cup, and this fish just represents an opportunity, a second chance, or a third chance, or a 10th chance, however many chances. But it's hope. The fish just represents hope. And so you're looking in this empty cup, and you're hoping that this fish is just magically going to pop out. Like, oh my gosh, maybe a miracle will happen. Maybe a miracle will happen. And that's what you're holding on to with the Four of Pentacles. You're holding on to the chance that somehow this situation is going to change. That despite that it's blown up, despite that it's over, that it's been lost, whatever happened between you and this person, you're holding out hope that somehow it's going to come back around and there will be a different outcome. But I can tell you, with the World card in reverse here, and with the Five of Cups, I'm here to tell you that, at least for now, that is not the case. Right now, and I have to keep it real with you, I have to be honest with you. Right now, based on what I see here, this is over. And I don't see anything indicating that there's going to be an opportunity. And I know someone will be like, well, the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles is somebody coming back and apologizing, or somebody coming back and making a new offer. And yes, those cards could be read that way, depending on the person who's doing the reading. But you have to take into account all the other cards, and then of course the intuition of the person that's doing the reading. And in this case, these cards are not indicating, somebody coming back and apologizing, or coming back making a small offer with the Page of Pentacles, all the typical, generic meanings for these cards. These energies are attached to you. These energies are you, again, hoping for a different outcome. And I just don't see it. I do not see a different outcome here. So I think you're waiting in vain, so to speak. I think the best thing for you to do is to let go. This is holding on, but the best thing for you to do is let go of this, move on with your life, and if something happens down the road, then it will happen naturally. Like if you're supposed to be with this person down the road, then it'll happen down the road. But right now, holding on to it, it's not serving you. It's not doing you any good. Not by a long shot, because you're in this Five of Cups energy. And, you're just kind of like living in misery. And it's a similar thing that I was saying to Gemini just before you. So you might want to go back and watch the Gemini reading, not because it's identical, but because of the things that I shared with them about releasing and forgiving so that you're able to move on with your life and not getting stuck in stuck energy. You cannot make this up. This is literally the same card that came out for Gemini. So as I'm saying, you might want to go back to Gemini's, which I did just before yours, so you don't even have to scroll back very far, and you'll literally see that I got this card for Gemini. So you might want to go back and watch the Gemini, at least the very end part. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but at the end, you'll see that I pull this card out, and maybe listen to what I said for Gemini when this card came out for them. Now, I am going to read it for you, but I'm not going to repeat all the stuff that I said, because you can just go back to the Gemini reading and listen to it there. So surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. So it's literally the same thing. You're going through something similar. May not be the exact same thing. Gemini's reading was about, getting screwed over in a love triangle. I don't know if that's what happened. I don't see cheating energy here. It could have happened. I don't see it here. But I do see a painful ending. And I do see you holding on to this person despite the fact that it was a painful ending. So, yeah, take it as it resonates. Go back. Watch what I said in the Gemini reading when this card came out. It's the very tail end of the Gemini reading. Okay. So that's what's coming up for you guys, and I apologize you guys are going through that just like I said for Gemini. Going through a breakup, going through the end of a relationship is always difficult. Especially when it's very clear that you're emotionally invested with this person. All right, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. That's not good. At least not yet. Ooh, Ten of Swords. Okay, yeah, definitely not good. So far, I mean, you guys are either going through a breakup, a divorce, or the ending of a relationship. Or it may be even some family, there could have been a family feud. We'll have to see here. What's going on here with Leo? Temperance. That's Sagittarius energy. All right, we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. A lot of fire. Seven of Pentacles. The High Priestess. Cancer, Pisces. The Queen of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then the Four of Cups. All right. Leo, I think what's going on here is male or female doesn't matter, but I feel like you guys now there could be two groups of you. There could be two groups of you guys. Four of Cups, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and then Five of Cups again. Six of Cups. Yeah. There could be two groups of you. All right, so this is what it's interesting because there's two totally different stories, two totally different storylines, despite the fact that it's the same cards. So group one, you guys are definitely, this is like a divorce or a breakup. Okay, Ten of Cups in reverse, Ten of Swords. There's the breakup. There's the ending. We have the Temperance card here. This is you trying to find, or you're basically trying to find like a happy medium here. You're trying to find a middle ground between you and this other person. You and the person that you've been with. We have the Emperor here, which, represents, either a dictator, authority, could be even the government. So like, it's similar to the Justice card, basically like lawyers, the courts, a judge. Seven of Pentacles is about your money, your assets, your wealth, the stuff you own. The High Priestess is, there were secrets. Not everything is being revealed here or has been revealed. There could have been secrets in the relationship. Dishonesty to some extent. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, the female figure. Male or female doesn't really matter, but this is the other person. So this isn't you. This is the person that you would be dealing with. Four of Cups. You guys basically, you grew apart and you weren't able to do this, temperance. And so it got too far. Now, some of you could be still trying to mediate. You could be like, hey, we're trying to work this out. We don't want to get divorced. We don't want this to be over, but right now it is over. So this could go either way. You could be trying like one last try, but the energy that you're in, neither one of you you don't really have any emotion for each other anymore. You grew apart. All right. Or there was somebody else that got involved. It could have been a third-party situation because we have the Page of Wands, we have the Ace of Wands, there's Ace of Pentacles again, there was 10 of Pentacles there, 5 of Cups, there was the loss, 6 of Cups, somebody from the past or kids are involved, the Chariot, the Chariot is often a fork in the road. This also could be having to relocate and move. And then the Nine of Pentacles here. So there's a strong energy here that this is a divorce or a breakup. And, it's questionable. The Temperance energy, the energy coming off of the Temperance card is questionable. I don't know if you'll be able to work it out with this person. Will you be able to find the middle ground? Will you be able to overcome this? Will you be able to resolve this no matter what the outcome is? If you do break up or if this is a divorce, are you going to be able to come to a happy middle ground with your spouse or your partner? Or if you don't want this to be over, can you find a way to get your passion and your spark back? That's group 1. Now group 2, totally different storyline. Group 2, somebody who did you dirty, who did you wrong, that you haven't potentially heard from in a while, because Temperance has to do with timing. It's a card of timing. Some time has gone by here. Could be with a Sag, could be with an Aries, could be with Cancer, Pisces, could be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, But there's somebody who you were in a relationship with, a serious relationship with. Something happened. There was an ending with this person, and we see that with that 5 of Cups that was down here at the bottom of the deck. There it is, right there. And this person wants to come back and make things right with you. With the Temperance card. The Emperor is here. This is them taking action, taking charge. Maybe they've grown up. Maybe they've matured. Maybe they're an older person. Maybe you've had children with this person. Could be your baby daddy. Or maybe you're the baby daddy. I don't know. Doesn't have to be. 7 of Pentacles. This is them wanting to invest. They see your worth now. They want to make an investment. Intuitively, they know now. Like the High Priestess is a knowing. They have an inner knowing about you now. And they're being intuitively called, intuitively nudged to come seek you out after a period of being apart. Now, this could be their energy or your energy, depending. Either, I feel like it'd be you, because here they come. Here you are, just kind of like chilling out here, and then here they come. You don't see them coming from behind you. This represents the past, because they're approaching you from behind. They're approaching you from back there, which represents the past. And right now, you're just kind of like doing your own thing. Maybe you've been out looking at other options, but you're not really interested. You're like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really out here that's interesting to me right now. So you're just sitting by yourself, which is that Nine of Pentacles that we saw down here. There's the Nine of Pentacles. That's you sitting by the tree. And here they come. This past person is coming up. Here they come in the chariot, and there they are with the Six of Cups. And here's the Page of Wands. There's the message you're probably going to get. And what do they want? They want a new beginning with you. They want the Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning. Ace of Pentacles, they want to invest with you. Ten of Pentacles, they realized that they missed out on an opportunity with somebody that they could have been their forever person, at least in their mind. You don't have to feel this way about them. Or maybe they were stuck. Maybe they were stuck in a marriage. Maybe they were in a commitment, and you were like, "Look, I'm not going to be with you until you get out of a commitment." Right? With the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Swords, maybe they were the ones that were stuck in a commitment. And maybe you cut them off and said, "Look, I'm not dealing with you until you are done. You're completely free. You're completely single. You're completely divorced. Then come find me." Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here. But we have the Five of Cups underneath that. This person definitely, they know that they lost something that they valued. Okay. So two totally different storylines there for you, Leo. Hopefully one of those resonates for you guys. Let's see what's the surrender card here for you guys. Yeah, surrender to inner peace. So this is saying, look, no matter what's going on in your life, the divine wants you guys to just stay in this Nine of Pentacles here. The divine wants you guys to just stay in your confident, badass, you have your shit together energy. They want you to stay in that Nine of Pentacles energy. But I'll read the card. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis in quiet, meditative moments. Focus on the stillness within and enjoy the inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. And that's what's making you so attractive. Is because, the energy that you give off. And that's what makes you so rare, and probably what makes you so rare to this person. Okay? So that's what's coming up for you guys. All right, we have Prudence. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Now, I know what the word means, but I don't know. I'm going to have to look in the book to see what the creator of this deck intended for it to mean. And it's interesting because there's this, and I'll hold the card up for you, and I'll show you, because there's like a wizard. There's two faces. There's this wizard here looking at the time. He's holding a snake, and then there's this woman holding a mirror on that side. So it's very interesting. All right, so we have the World, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. This just wanted to fall out. So we'll take them. We have the Hierophant. Wow, there's a lot of majors here. A lot of major arcana energy. The Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. You cannot make this shit up. And these are the three, by the way, that fell out. Or two fell out rather. This one came out, and then these two just kind of fell off the bottom. The Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Major, major, major commitment energy. Like, marriage, commitment, family, finding your forever person. Getting all the things. I mean, you can't make this up. This is incredible. This is incredible energy for Virgo. Now, I'm not, oh, and look, you can't make this up. We have the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Success, victory, promotion, good news, celebration, victory after a long battle. You can't make this up. So I was going to say that I'm not so surprised with this because astrologically speaking, I think we're being affected positively by Jupiter right now. I forget what's happening for us, for the sign of Virgo in astrologically speaking. I can't remember, but it's all over YouTube. Like, you just look up Virgo astrology for the month of June 2025 and you'll see it. It's all over YouTube. But let's take a look here. First, let's look at this Prudence card, because it's one of the extra cards that's in this deck, and I'm not familiar with it. So let's take a look and see what this is about. All right. Stability of virtue is what this says. Prudence signifies the insight and wisdom needed as a foundation to regulate all of the other virtues. Combine memory to remember the past, intelligence to draw lessons in the present, and foresight to apply these lessons and anticipate wise action in the future. Utilize prudence in movement towards new realizations. So I'm just going to kind of skim through here. Let's see. A sophisticated lady gazes at a reflection in the mirror. So let me show you the artwork here. So here's the lady looking in the mirror. She's facing the future, and you have this guy, this wizard guy, looking in the past, and he's looking at this hourglass, right? The mirror she holds shows her things as they are, not as we imagine them to be. It represents self-awareness and consciousness. With her other hand, she holds a compass to measure everything. Okay, I didn't see her holding a compass, but I also wasn't looking. I don't see a compass. Oh, okay, yeah, I see it. There's a snake and a compass. You can't really see it, but it's like one of those little forks. The compass is it's like one of those little metal forks that they use. I was thinking of like a compass that you hold with your hand. On the back of her head is the face of Old Father Time. His gaze is toward an illuminated hourglass in the past. And the spiritual sun, which is in the picture back there, the sun is back in the painting in the back. The sun shines brightly through a window, hinting at a positive future. But a passing cloud reminds us that the weather can quickly change. Prudence is the ability to judge between virtuous and vicious actions. Okay, so basically what this card represents is two different things. It's about judging what actions we can take, the power of the actions that we have that we can take. And this card also represents integration. What have we learned from the past? How can we apply it to the present so that we can have a positive future? So that's what this is referring to, basically. What all have we learned from our past so we can begin to apply it right now so that we can move towards the future that we want to have? Now, the Nine of Swords in reverse is just representing that we're coming out of a time of stress, burden, coming out, of mental conflict, of torment. This is a time of coming out of stress, anxiety, turmoil, a tumultuous time. And the world is saying, we've closed out a chapter, we've closed out a cycle. So what in your life has been challenging for you? What in your life has been most stressful for you? Has it been money? Has it been relationships? Has it been love? Has it been family? Has it been health? What things in your life have been the key themes that have stressed you out the most? Well, those things are coming to an end and a new cycle begins. Because once we go through the world is the end of an old cycle. And let's not forget that we are in a universal year number 9. You add 2025 up, that reduces to 9 in numerology. And cycles go through 1 through 9. So this is a 9 year. So when we get to 2026, we'll be in a 1 year, which is about new beginnings. So there's all kinds of old cycles that are ending here. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is the Jupiter energy. The Wheel of Fortune is about abundance, fortune, favor, fate, destiny, good things, serendipity. So these are positive changes that are in your favor, or in our favor for the sign of Virgo. Lots of abundance, fate, destiny, fated meetings, positive change, whole new cycles occurring. And then we have the Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. All these have to do with commitment, love, finances, and romance. So, and at the highest level. So the Hierophant is about commitment, or a higher level of commitment. This could be a higher level of commitment at your job. It could be a higher level of commitment in your relationship. If you're in a relationship, it could be meeting somebody that you end up marrying. All of those are possibilities here. And before I forget, the world is Capricorn Aquarius energy. The Wheel of Fortune is Pisces Sagittarius energy. The Hierophant is Taurus energy. So those are the signs, 5 of them, because these two cards are the ruling planets. Jupiter is a ruling planet here, and Saturn is the ruling planet of the world. So we have Saturn and Jupiter. And so the two signs that are associated with Saturn and Jupiter, which again are Aquarius, Capricorn, and then with Jupiter you have Pisces and Sagittarius. And then the Hierophant is just the sign of Taurus. Okay, so lots of major commitment there. Now over here we have the Ten of Pentacles, which represents abundance of fortune, but also a high level of commitment. So the Ten of Pentacles is like is everything. You get the love and you get the money, right? So maximum wealth, maximum love, legacy, family, everything is there. And then you have the Ten of Cups, which is the max level of love. It's the most love that two human beings can experience together. And then you wrap the whole package up together and you get the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is success after a long battle, which is the Nine of Swords in reverse. Good news, getting everything you want. And underneath that we have the Grail, which I don't know what that is. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna go any more underneath because it's a lot. But I'm just curious what that is. I mean, the reading's just so. This is almost too perfect for me to believe. If I'm being honest with you. Okay, the Grail is disruption of darkness. The Grail signifies the ultimate quest for enlightenment and disruption of darkness. It is the conclusive fulfillment of a physical or even mystical experience. The Grail depicts achievement of the highest spiritual potential of human consciousness. So now we have the highest level of human consciousness here. And the fulfillment of physical or even mystical experiences. So yeah, like reaching fulfillment. So it's basically just another card that's saying the same thing as the 2 tens and the 6 of wands. So basically, this month for Virgo is potentially the opportunity, regardless of what plays out, because we do have free will, right? It can't always. It's not going to be all fairies and unicorn, but at the very least, the energy of June that's surrounding the sign of Virgo has the potential for those who utilize it. Because remember, we have to participate to get the result. It's not just going to be handed to us. But if we participate with this energy, the result could be everything that I've said here. This could be literally an almost magical time for Virgo. All right, so let's see what the surrender energy is. I don't remember the last time I had a reading this good for any sign. All right. So this is the one thing, if anything, that will affect us or hold us back as Virgos for the month of June. Surrender your fear of change. In other words, you do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Not stepping out of your comfort zone. Being, procrastinating, stagnating, not doing anything, letting the month of June just come and go, right? So this is basically saying, hey, use the energy while you have it. Use every drop of June's energy to your advantage. Okay, but now I'm going to read what the card says. The card says the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So that's what the card says, but the more important energy that is here is don't allow your fear of doing something different to prevent you from doing the thing that needs to be done that's different to get all this wonderful energy. What's coming up for Libra in June, please? We have the 7 of Pentacles. You guys could be focused on your money, or you could be getting, you could be reaping the benefits of things that you've invested in, things that have taken time to mature and grow, because the 7 of Pentacles is a card of harvest. All right, we have the 8 of Swords. So you're overthinking something, you're stuck in your head about something, you're telling yourself a story that's not serving you, you're getting all up in your head about something, or you feel trapped. 4 of Swords. Okay, well, it seems to be about whoever this King of Wands is. Okay, you could be dealing with a fire sign. You don't have to be. So that's Leo, Sag, Aries energy. Yeah, you've been in no contact here. The 4 of Swords is no contact. The 8 of Swords is you're hung up on this person, but it's not good. It's affecting you negatively. You're thinking about this person. There's a lot of negative thoughts. There's a lot of pessimism. And there's two, and this 7 of Pentacles is like a waiting energy. It's also an energy of expectation. You thought that this person was going to invest in you a certain way. You thought this situation with this person was going to turn out a different way, and it didn't. And so now you're in no contact with this person, and you're having a really hard time processing it, dealing with it, letting it go, or making odds and ends of it. It could be a Leo. We do have strength now. Now, one of the energies that I'm getting on this is either this is you pretending like you're okay when you're not, or this could be you spying on them and they're acting like they're okay. They're fine and dandy. There's a third energy also, as the information's coming to me, that's separate from all these other cards. This third energy is you needing to take your power back to get out of this Eight of Swords. In other words, get out of the victim mentality, get out of the negative thinking, let go of the negative story, stop replaying it over and over again, stop wondering, is this person going to come back, or whatever the thing is. Yeah, the Nine of Wands in reverse. This is saying, again, to let go. Let go of the pain, let go of the things that hurt you, because the Nine of Wands upright is the wounded warrior, the things that have hurt you. The Nine of Wands in reverse is letting go of the things that have hurt you. Stepping back into your power with the Strength card. And what I'm feeling like, Libra, yeah, you're in no contact with this person. You guys obviously weren't aligned for each other, and you're in denial about it. The Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords is being in denial about it. You're refusing to see the truth, even though the truth is right in front of you. And that's what this is saying. Like, you're looking at what this person had to give you. That's what the Pentacles represent. The Pentacles represent the value of the thing. And here you are looking at the value of what this person brought to the table. And it was not what you thought that it was. But instead of accepting the truth and the reality of that, you're in denial of it with the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords. Some part of you, maybe you fantasized, maybe you projected, maybe who knows. Maybe you just wanted this person to be that person so bad that, you failed to see them for who they really are. Who knows? There's lots of possibilities there. We have the Ace of Wands, the bottom of the deck. We have the King of Wands. So you could have had just a very intense, passionate, maybe even a sexual connection with this person, which can be when you have an extremely passionate and sexual bond with somebody, you have to understand that you're dealing with chemicals that are being released in your body as a human that are as powerful as narcotics. It's just as powerful as meth, heroin, cocaine, like the chemicals released in our body that bind us to another human being. This is why sexual energy is so powerful, because it's releasing natural chemicals that are as addictive as any other hardcore drug that you could get your hands on, most of which are illegal. So sex is the closest thing to a legal drug that you can be addicted to as it can get, minus maybe alcohol, because alcohol's pretty addictive and very destructive. Despite the fact that, it's just as bad as any other drug. It's just as bad as crack, cocaine. It's just as bad. It might be easier to overdose on other drugs, but in terms of the benefits of alcohol, it's just as bad as any other drug. But yet it's legal, because you can consume, you can consume a small amount and not get completely, you know, you know, effed up by consuming a small amount. So, and I don't know, maybe that's why it's legal. If not, it's obviously because of money, right? But all that aside, that's besides the point. You have a strong connection here with this person, a strong, passionate, physical, sexual connection with this person, and they feel like that affected your ability to see this person for who they really were. And it's like you're having to detox from a drug. Yeah, and you can't stop thinking about them. We have the Page of Swords. This is you spying on them, and if you're not spying on them, this is you thinking about them. And this is you. This is either you or somebody else. Doesn't have to be. With the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups could just be you, male or female, doesn't matter. That you have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings for this person still, or maybe you're spying on this person and you found out that they're seeing somebody else. I don't know. Eight of Pentacles underneath that. Seven of Cups underneath that. And the Ten of Cups. Yeah. So this is you fantasizing. Eight of Pentacles is you hoping and wishing that somehow this is going to work. Somehow this is going to come around and you're going to work things out with this person. The Seven of Cups is the fantasy energy itself, having your head in the clouds. And the Ten of Cups, you feel like this person was supposed to be your person. That's what you think. And right now, you're holding on, you're waiting, and all of that. But the divine is saying, you need to let this person go right now. Yeah, I didn't even look underneath the Ten of Cups. You guys saw me looking through the cards a second ago. I did not look underneath the Ten of Cups. I did not see what was there. Intuitively, the divine's like, yeah, they need to let go of this person. And then I went back through the cards and look what's underneath the Ten of Cups, death. The divine is saying, this person's not good for you. This person's not in alignment with you. And you're fantasizing about this person. This person is a fantasy. But you have a strong connection with them because there was lust, there was infatuation, the sexual chemicals, all that stuff. But the divine is saying this person is not in alignment for you. So you're waiting in vain. You're waiting for something that's not meant for you. You're just wasting your valuable time and energy by waiting for somebody that's not meant for you. That's what this is saying. So what does that mean for you in June? Well, let's see what the surrender card says. Besides the fact that, the divine's saying, hey, you need to find yourself again. You need to get back into your power with the strength card. You lost yourself in this person. And you need to go back and re-find who you are. And learn the lesson. The lesson here for you to learn is to never, ever, ever again lose yourself in somebody else. That's what this is saying. So the strength card is really the main energy for you in this reading. So what else for Libra? Surrender to your intuition. Yeah, so the divine is saying, you already know this. It's just you're in denial. That Two of Swords. You deep down, you know that this is true. Because you've seen it. Like I said earlier, you've already seen what this person has to offer you. You've already seen the value that they can bring, that they have to bring to you in this relationship. And it's not in alignment with you. But you're in denial about it. Because you wanted this person to be something that they're not so bad. You projected a fantasy onto this person and they're not the fantasy. And so the surrender to your intuition is saying, hey, You already know this. You know this already. It's just you're not wanting to acknowledge it or accept it. You don't want to accept the truth even though you know that it is the truth. That's what this card is saying. But I'm going to read it. I'm going to read what the card says anyway. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And I feel like I said, I feel like you guys have already had those. So that's what's coming up for you guys. That's the challenge, really, I guess I should say, that you guys are facing for the month of June is finding yourself again, healing, letting go of this person that's not good for you, and learning the lesson of not fantasizing, projecting yourself, or losing yourself in another person, no matter how intense the connection is. Six of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay, I got 2 6s. So this is moving on from challenging times. So not only, this is what's interesting about these 2 cards coming out back to back. The 5 of Wands is a chaotic energy, fighting, conflict, chaos. The 6 of Swords is the same. It's fighting, conflict, chaos. So this is you moving on from some type of conflict or chaos in your life. And you're moving on for the better. So the 6 of Wands is you moving on successfully from this, and this is you making a successful transition away from it with the 6 of Swords. What's this about for Scorpio? All right, we have a Queen of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. It doesn't have to be that. This could just be you in your successful energy, because this is the Wands energy, and here you are. So the Queen, the energy represented by the Queen, confidence, charisma, magnetism, power, ambition, all of that. She's the one who's riding on this horse. I know it's kind of like this barbarian looking dude in the artwork, but it's really her that's riding on this. So this is you in your power, basically. 5 of Pentacles. This is you coming out of a loss, coming out of a time of scarcity, you overcoming a loss, or somebody attached to you is losing out. Winners and losers, right? Somebody win here. So there's a winner and a loser in the 5 of Wands, and there's a winner and a loser in the 5 of Swords. You're the winner in this situation, it seems, and then there's a loser here somewhere. Now that's not the only energy attached to the 5 of Pentacles. This is something you're moving out and away from, but it's also indicating that there's somebody else who there's also somebody else that's attached to you or was attached to you that they missed, they lost. They lost out. Now, it could be that the person that lost you is the Queen of Wands. But this energy is attached to you, but it could be attached to somebody else also. What else does Scorpio need to know? All right. Yeah, you're in your power right now. The Magician. You have recognized and you have realized whatever you needed to do, you realized something. You found your power, you stepped into your power, and you took action. You did what you needed to do in order to get through this outcome. Now we have the Knight of Cups here. So this could have been in relation, in regards to love and relationships. So maybe you broke up with this person. Maybe you needed to leave them behind. Or maybe you moved on from them to pursue, to follow your heart, to follow your passion, to follow your call in life, or to pursue a new love, a new romantic opportunity here. And it's also possible that because you moved on from this person, you have, you've opened up the door, so to speak, for a new romantic opportunity to come to you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles here. So again, this could be two energies. It's not clear which one it is. This is you deciding, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go plant seeds somewhere else. I'm going to go invest somewhere else. I'm going to go start, a new beginning, a new project, a new investment, or this is something that's going to come to you because you've manifested it by leaving this other thing behind. It's one or the other. Yeah. And we have the Devil underneath that, Capricorn energy. This was the toxic thing that I feel you moved away from. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is you. Basically, the energy attached to this is you refuse to compromise your values. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is consistent. They follow through. They're dependable. They're reliable. You can set your clock to the Knight of Pentacles. Like, this guy is hardworking, dependable, stable, consistent, and grounded. And I feel that you were not willing to compromise who you were despite this devil energy that you experienced, that you moved away from. Yeah, and there's a lot of energies attached to the Seven of Cups, no pun intended. There could have been fantasy here. There could have been secrets here. And there's also an energy of like you realize that you have tons of options. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for a toxic option. And it could be that this other person, maybe they had a lot of options. Maybe that's why you let go of them. But there's an energy, this energy is attached to you where I think you realize that, hey, I don't have to settle, so I'm not going to. And this is you not settling. So whatever this is for you, Scorpio, this is you. You're basically just like, you're in your power and you're like, look, I'm not dealing with drama. I'm not dealing with toxic shit. I'm not dealing with toxic people. I'm protecting my peace. I'm staying true to myself, staying true to my values, my standards. And you're going to go pursue something else. You're going to go search for something that is in alignment with you and your values. Or it's going to come find you. One or the other. But you're definitely in your power. And we see this in three different places. Six of Wands, you in your power. Queen of Wands, you in your power. Magician, you in your power. And before I forget, the Magician is Virgo, Gemini energy. And then, like I said, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries with the Queen of Wands. So this month, you guys are just focused on yourself. Focused on your power. Surrender to play. And surrender to miracles. Yeah, so this is the miracle energy with the Magician. Because now that you're in your power, some miraculous things can happen. And then over here, surrender to play is really about just not being so, because you guys are and at the bottom of the deck, you have surrender to receiving support and love. Which these two cards, the surrender to receiving support and love and the surrender to play, is just because you guys are a fixed sign. Like Taurus. So Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio are the fixed signs. So you being a fixed sign, you guys are a lot more practical. You're not mutable. So you guys aren't really much for like change per se out of, where you stand in your placement in the zodiac. You're a fixed sign. So this is simply saying, don't be all business. Like the Page of Pentacles can be all business, but then of course the Knight of Pentacles here can be all business. And so can the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands she's super ambitious. She's like the lady entrepreneur, the boss babe, the CEO, the female CEO. So the divine is just simply saying, like, make time for fun. Like, don't be serious all the time. It doesn't always have to be like grind, work, like super serious energy. It doesn't have to always be just ambition. So but I'll read what the cards say. So the surrender to play says, take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Surrender to miracles says, be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. And then finally, surrender to receiving support and love says, allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. In other words, the super independent energy of the Queen of Wands. Don't be that. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So, pretty straightforward for you guys for June. You guys are in your power, you're kicking ass, you're taking names, and the divine's just saying, hey, learn to relax, learn to take your foot off the gas, let people help you when you need to, and don't, have fun and don't be so serious all the time. All right, we have Justice, which is Libra energy. Maybe you're dealing with a Libra, you don't have to be. And so far I'm getting two different storylines here. King of Pentacles in reverse. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, Star, which is Aquarius energy, Three of Wands, Ten of Wands, Eight of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, guys, there's two different storylines potentially. One storyline is some of you guys could be married and maybe you're contemplating a divorce. So this is you feeling stuck and trapped in a marriage. Again, something could happen back in Aries season, or you're dealing with an Aries. You're trying to get advice on what to do. Maybe you've been to counseling with the Hierophant and the Three of Pentacles, or maybe there was cheating. Maybe, third party was involved, and maybe you're trying to get a divorce with the Justice card, and then you have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is basically, an unreliable, classic kind of narcissistic energy. Someone who's selfish, unreliable, all of that. Ace of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. Maybe they were out, kind of sowing their seeds elsewhere. Sexual energy here. There's a Knight of Cups here. And we have the Star. Now, this could also be you wanting a new beginning elsewhere. You hoping to get free of this so you can go look for love somewhere else. That's a possibility. Or it was this person who had you in a third-party situation, because you got the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles here. And maybe you found out that they were getting theirs elsewhere. Now, that could be a marriage. This could also be a relationship. So you don't have to be married to this person. But it's one or the other. This is either a marriage that's leading to a divorce. That's the first group. Or this is a relationship. And the truth, and so instead of this card having to do with divorce, this card has to do with the truth coming out that, hey, the person that you're with, they're not the only one. You're not the only person that they're dating and they're seeing. That there's other people here. And yeah, finding out about this is the Ten of Wands energy. So you're completely overwhelmed by the fact that, you realize that this person has been basically cheating. Maybe you found messages with the Eight of Wands. Maybe somebody reached out to you. There's a lot, with the Eight of Wands here. Either you found out that there were messages or somebody reached out to you and told you. And the Nine of Pentacles is, hey, I thought this person was single. And turns out they were not. So whatever the situation is, with this person. There definitely appears to be, there was a commitment on your end with this person, but they were not loyal to the commitment. And yeah, this is you needing to heal once the dust settles from all of this. This is you needing to heal and focus on your healing. But this is also the star energy is also this person liking the attention. Like, in other words, this person gets off on feeling, like they can go out and they can have whoever they want to have. Maybe they're really attractive. Maybe they're a really good player. Maybe they're really charming. Maybe they're the typical Don Juan energy, a Casanova. Whatever. But yeah, this is tough because you got, if you haven't found out yet, then you probably will be. Now, some of you, I feel like you know about this now. But some of you might be finding out this month that this person that you were with was not being faithful. All right. So what do they need to know? So far, Gemini, Cancer, and you guys have been the ones who've had really kind of like the most difficult relationship readings thus far out of the Zodiac. Surrender to your soul's path is here. What's at the bottom? Yeah, surrender denial. So you may feel like you don't want to believe it. Like if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, your person's cheating," or "Hey, I saw your person with somebody else." This is you, the eight of swords, being in denial about it. Like, no, they would never do that. No, that's not true. No, they wouldn't. Like, it's here saying, "Hey, you're gonna have to surrender denial." Like, this person is doing this. They aren't being faithful to you. No matter how hard it is for you to accept that truth, this card here at the bottom of the deck is saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you, but they are." So I'm going to read this card first, and then I'm going to talk about this surrender to your soul's path in just a second. This card says, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So they're saying, hey, yeah, you need to see this person for who they really are and not being in denial about who they are or what they've done. Now, the surrender to your soul's path is basically about you not allowing what's happened with this person, or however the situation unfolds, to not allow this person to derail you from the other things that you have going on in your life, which is, again, tied to the star energy. You can't lose yourself. You can't lose your purpose. You can't lose your mission. You can't allow what this person has done, how they've betrayed you, betrayed themselves, to completely derail you and throw you off course. That's what this card is essentially saying. But I'll read it here. It says, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson in every moment. So that also means learning how to embrace this lesson. Even though it hurts, but all painful lessons, all painful, tragic betrayals, losses, all that stuff, all of those things are lessons, right? And it's part of our soul's growth. It's part of the mission, the things that we're meant to learn so that we can know what our purpose in life is. And it's not fun to go through, but it's just part of the journey that we sign up for when we come into this plane of existence. So that's what's coming up for you, my Sagittariuses, or what's already going on for you, rather. And I'm sorry you guys are going through that. All right, first card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces energy. We have the Hangman, which is Pisces, so double Pisces energy. We have Death, which is Scorpio. There's tons of water energy here. We have the Hermit in reverse, which is Virgo energy. And we have the Six of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Magician, the Emperor, which is Aries energy, Page of Swords, Queen of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. So you could be dealing with a water sign with this Queen of Cups. You know, she's a few cards deep into the bottom of the deck here. Somebody was unfaithful though. With the Three of Wands here and the Seven of Swords and the Magician, somebody was wearing a mask. Somebody was dishonest. Somebody was not who they presented themselves to be. And I feel that this person person's going to come back. And you need to be aware. This person's going to come back because they see you as like you're, you're a pleasurable item for them. I'll put it to you that way. This Nine of Cups is they're very attracted to you. You're very pleasurable for them. But the Four of Pentacles is here saying, you need to guard yourself here. Because this person is still playing the same old game, Seven of Cups. They have options still, but this is also a card of confusion. Meaning they may come back and say, hey, you're my forever person, Ten of Cups, and then the Four of Wands underneath that. They may come back, trying to convince you that, hey, you're the love of my life, I've changed, this, that, and the other, but they haven't. And they're seeking you out for passion and sex and all of that. But Seven of Swords, being dishonest, the Magician, being a trickster, wearing a mask, and then the Emperor here could be Aries energy, but it's also them just coming in with confidence. In other words, they're showing up like they're the Emperor. They're showing up. They're presenting you with this, like they have their shit together energy, but it's just a facade. Okay, and how do we know this is a past person? Because we have the Six of Cups here. Okay, now I know I kind of did this a little bit backwards because I started from the bottom of the deck as opposed to up here. But it doesn't matter. So this is you, Knight of Pentacles. You've been focused on your typical Capricorn things, work, your everyday stuff, the 9 to 5, whatever you guys do. You guys are kind of like the workaholics of the zodiac. All right. So that's you being in your energy here with the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the High Priestess is representing two different things. One is what you don't see. And what you don't see is this person coming back from the past. And the second thing is you're going to have to really, really, really listen to your gut, trust your intuition, trust the red flags. And I said there was two energies, or technically a third energy. The third energy here is how do I want to describe this third energy? The third energy is the divine. Is there's a lesson, there's a spiritual lesson that you guys are needing to learn. And that's why this person from your past is coming back, because you haven't learned it. And your earth energy, so you're used to the physical, the tangible, the real. When it comes to the woo-woo, when it comes to the metaphysical, when it comes to the invisible realm, that stuff can be a little bit out there for you, even though you might be here watching tarot. And so there's a spiritual lesson that you're meant to learn here. And if you, and this is coming back, this situation from your past is coming back so that you can conquer it this time. Whereas maybe in the past you didn't pass the test. This is an opportunity for you to pass the test this time. All right? Which is why the Hangman is here. The Hangman is saying, hey, are you going to be able to see things differently this time than you did the time before? In other words, are you going to be able to see through this person's bullshit? Are you going to be able to recognize any differences that you didn't see that were present with that person before? Are you a different person? Are you going to recognize your own growth? So this is really, the Hangman is representing a spiritual insight, a spiritual vision, if you will. Seeing with spiritual goggles on. Seeing this as a spiritual test. Not just, another person from my past coming back. No, it's bigger than that. That's why these are major arcanas. This is much bigger than that. And what has changed with the death card? Because death is really about transformation. Yes, it's death and rebirth, but it's also a card of transformation. Have you changed? Or are you going to have to go through another transformation? In other words, the death card is here saying that if you don't pass the test, you're going to have to go through more pain. You're going to go through another painful lesson like you did the last time. But the energy attached to this card is not definitive, meaning it's only here if you don't use your spiritual vision with the Hangman insight. Only if you remain disconnected from your intuition here. So as long as you're connected to your intuition, you use your spiritual vision, then you won't have to experience this painful energy. You won't have to go through this painful lesson again. Now, the Hermit in reverse has two energies attached to it. Virgo energy. The first energy is, have you learned? Have you really learned your lesson? Wisdom. Because the Hermit is the wise sage. In reverse, it's saying, hey, I haven't done any introspection. I haven't done any soul searching. I haven't learned anything from my past. So is that true? Or is it not true? What's it going to be? And the second energy attached to this is this person, is kind of coming out of, the cave, isolation. Like there's an energy attached to this, again, like with this, the High Priestess and the Hermit in reverse is, again, you're not going to see this. This person has been kind of hiding out. Like you didn't know what happened to this person. Like whatever, since the time that you and this person from your past broke up or disconnected, whatever happened in the past with this person, you have no idea where they went, what happened to them. Like they dropped off the face of the planet. You weren't keeping up with them anymore. And so it's kind of like you're not seeing them when they appear. They're kind of coming out of nowhere. But then, if, like I said, with all these other cards at the bottom of the deck, they're still the same old person that are still playing the same old games. And they're coming back to see if they can play the same old game with you. It's like, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So they're coming back to see if they can fool you a second time. Not just because they want to fool you, but because they want something from you. they like, like I said, they're attracted to you. There's a lot of sexual chemistry here with that Ace of Wands here, and then the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It's this person. You have the mojo. They like the mojo, but they also like to keep their options open. So they like lots of mojo from lots of different sources. That's the problem. The problem isn't that they think you're hot, sexy, attractive, and they like banging you. That's not the problem. The problem is they like, banging everybody else too. Yeah, you can't make this up. Let's start here. Surrender unhealthy relationships. That's who this person is. That's what's coming back. So that's confirmation right there. Surrender to creativity. Now this is completely separate from your reading. This has to do with whatever it is that you're unhappy doing. So some of you guys, and this is just like a quick little side reading. Some of you guys are just doing your job, but you're not passionate about the job that you're doing. So you're just grinding, right? You work at a career, you work at a job, you might hate your job, or if you don't hate it, you're just like, hey, it pays the bills, but it's not your passion in life, right? And this is saying basically like, go find your passion in life. You don't have to work a job that you hate. Go find the thing that you're passionate about and go do that thing. Because you have all these talents and abilities that are being wasted when you could be doing those things and enjoying the thing that you do and make the paycheck. So you could be making the paycheck and you could be happy, as opposed to just making the paycheck and not being happy. That's what essentially this is saying. But I'm going to read the cards. I'll start with this one. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream to solve a problem. And then the surrender to unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people, like this person. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. So Capricorn, you have a toxic person coming back, and if you don't pass the test, you're in for some pain with the death card. But you don't have to go through this because you've learned the lesson. You just have to be willing to trust yourself this time and see this person for who they really are, no matter how much they swear up and down to you that they've changed. No, I've changed. I swear, I promise I've changed. I'm different. I'm not the same person. Lies, 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 lies. They're going to come in and say, look, I've changed. I'm the emperor. I've got my shit together. Seven of Swords says that's a lie. The magician wearing the mask says that's a lie. Okay? So that's what's coming up for you guys in June. Be aware, be on the lookout for someone from your past who's going to try to come back and pull one over on you, and it's going to put you right back. It's going to set you back, and you don't need to be set back, but it will set you back, and it's going to hurt. And then you're going to have to heal all over again. The second time that you're going to have to heal from this person. The second time you're going to be set back from this person. So don't fall for it. Don't be fooled. All right, we have the Five of Wands. Now, it did technically come out sideways, which tells me you could be in between a conflict. You could be in between some type of change, because fives have to do with change. This one's coming out sideways too. Interesting. You could be torn between something here. We'll have to see what this means. Okay, torn between lovers, Two of Cups. Torn between partnerships, torn between a relationship. Or maybe you're trying to get out of a conflicting relationship. Because the Five of Wands sideways could mean, You're because this is conflict. The Five of Wands upright is the conflict. So when it turns sideways, this is like you trying to get out of conflict, meaning the card wants to go in the other direction. The card is wanting to go in reverse, meaning to get out of conflict. But let's see. All right. Justice, which is Libra energy. So you could be dealing with a Libra. You don't have to be. But something hasn't been fair. Something is out of balance. Something needs to be brought into balance. We have a Three of Pentacles here. There could be multiple people involved in this. You could just be torn about what decision to make. What's the best decision for you? Or this could be a third party situation. If not, it could just be external conflicts that are affecting a relationship that you're in. It's not 100% clear to me just yet. Nine of Pentacles. There could be conflict over money. Could be a legal situation involving work. So maybe you're having some issues at work. There's conflict at work. That's a possibility for some of you. Three of Wands again. And then the Queen of Swords. So now you're showing up in your own reading. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And if it's not you, then it could be a Libra that you're dealing with. One or the other. Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Ten of Cups, family issues perhaps. We have the Moon. Unknown variables at play here. Secrets, hidden things, or just uncertainty, not knowing what to do about things. The Lovers, multiple people. This could be cheating. I mean, there's strong energy here of a love triangle as well. But I feel like it could be more than that. So we got the Three of Pentacles here and the Three of Wands here. And then with the Moon and the Lovers together, I mean, that could be, that's classic, based on the other cards. That's also a classic kind of cheating energy. But I feel like there's something more, there's still something more going on here. I feel like there's something else going on. I mean, it could be all of those things. There could be multiple groups of people here, with multiple, more than one group of Aquarians that this is affecting. I need to check on Justice really quick. So I'm going to just use this deck really quick. I know I'm kind of making an exception for you guys because I haven't done this with the other zodiac signs, but that's only because I haven't needed to. So I'm not playing favorites here. I'm not being biased towards Aquarians. It's just there's multiple energies attached to all of these cards, and there's not really a single prominent storyline, if that makes sense. There's like a lot of different things going on here. Why is Justice here? So I'm trying to zero in on like the most prominent energy. Why is Justice here, please? And don't just give me the Karma card. All right, superficial. Renewal. in the past. Okay, yeah, building and secrets. Okay, so there's the secrets. That is tied to the moon energy, which we see. So yeah, there was definitely secrets here. Something from the past and somebody who was being fake with the superficial card here. So now that we know, now that I'm kind of got in the ballpark, now I'm just going to ask one more. What is this about? What's the main theme here? So we know that there was a fake superficial energy here, that truth was revealed. So the secrets energy was here and superficial was here. Justice brings truth to that situation so that the truth always comes to light. So what is this? What is the main theme here? What is all this about? Give me 3 cards. All right, so manifestation here. So somebody's creating this conflict. Somebody, and I don't know if it's you, Aquarius. It could be you or somebody else. It's not clear, but somebody is creating this conflict. What is this about? All right, a transition. All right, so a change, somebody, some type of change that needs to be made here. We have influence, so somebody is, somebody in this 3 of Pentacles energy is influencing, is stirring the pot. They're the ones stirring the pot here. So there's somebody, and it could be this Queen of Swords. If the Queen of Swords is not you, then this Queen of Swords could be somebody who's gossiping at your job, or somebody that's involved, and they're stirring the pot, meaning the 5 of Wands. They're the ones that are creating, so either they're gossiping or they're just starting shit. They're a shit starter. Tell me more about this, please. Okay, building. So yeah, this could be work related with building, a project that you're working on, or maybe if you're just trying to fix your relationship, or maybe you're trying to make amends with somebody and somebody doesn't like the fact that you're trying to heal that situation. Because the building is also tied to the 3 of Pentacles. Fulfillment. They could be jealous with that fulfillment card here. That's why they're trying to start issues. In other words, they see you leveling up. They see you in your power. They see you in this 9 of Pentacles energy, and they're jealous of it. They're jealous of you for some reason. And so what they're trying to do is, I don't know if it's like a smear campaign or something. Yeah, somebody, yeah, so see, here it is. The mask, somebody's being fake. Somebody around you is not who they appear to be. They're probably really nice to your face. You know, probably there's somebody maybe potentially even close to you, somebody that you would never think has any ill will or jealousy or envy towards you, because when they're around you, they treat you like they're your closest friend. But the truth is, they're wearing a mask, and the truth is, they're really jealous of you. We have courage here. That could be a Leo. And this is, again, this is one of the things that they're jealous of. They're jealous that you have your shit together. They're jealous of your role as a leader, potentially, or they're just jealous of the fact that, you know, you're a stronger person than them. Maybe you're more liked than they are. But you're being protected by the divine right now. The higher power card is here. In other words, justice is the truth. This is the divine working in your favor, saying, "Hey, don't worry. I'm going to blow this person's cover. I am going to ensure that this person who's being deceptive, I'm going to expose them." That's what the divine is. The bottom of the deck, you have soul contracts here, so that's having something to do with whoever this is in your life. So yeah, I don't know. This is still a very mysterious and very unclear, because there's a lot of things here. We have family again, and this moon energy is what's making this really hard. So there could be a marriage involved. This could be a family member involved. This could be a family member maybe you work with. If you own your own business and you work with somebody in your family, or you work with somebody that's in your family or close to your family or a family friend, or this could even be your spouse. I don't know. This moon energy is shrouding this. It's preventing me from getting like super detailed, because there's so many things going on here. I haven't had a reading that was this difficult to decipher the energy in a long time. And there's so much of it here. It's very unclear. So what I'm going to tell you, Aquarius, is whatever the situation is and whoever you're involved with, it's very complex. Okay? It's very complex and it's very complicated. So it's not just, it's not just like a generic, this is it feels almost like a personal reading. So this may be specific to only a very, very small group of Aquariuses, maybe even just one or two. When it gets that specific, it's it feels like a personal reading. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a specific. Sometimes the divine highlights one person or just a small group of people that just really need a specific message, as opposed to the entire zodiac. But be that as it may, that's as far into it as I can go. Oh, forgot the surrender card. What am I doing? Let me get your surrender card. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot your surrender card because I used those other ones. So what's the surrender card for Aquarius? I almost forgot your guys' surrender card. Surrender fear. Okay. So yeah, whatever's going on in this situation, the divine wants you to know, hey, don't be afraid, because remember, justice was here, the higher power card was here, the divine's got your back, you're divinely protected. Surrender to fear. So this is what the card says. Let go of the fearful stories you were telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. All right, the Holy Grail card came back. And the reason I say came back is because Virgo had that at the bottom of the deck on their reading. And you guys are the sister sign, or the opposite sign. So this is all about overcoming darkness and basically manifesting the highest outcome, the highest, the ideal outcome, whether it's physically or spiritually. All right, you have the World. This also came out in Virgo's reading. Completing a cycle, closing out a cycle, finishing up something to prepare to move into a new cycle. Come on. All right, we have the Magician, Virgo, Gemini energy, the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Doesn't have to be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. This could just be you guys focusing on your money, your wealth, your resources. You could be focusing on parenting. You could be focused on your job, your abundance, your security. You have charity. Okay. I'll have to look at that. It's a similar to the Empress here. And we have the Sun. Being told to do one more card for you for some reason. The Sun is Leo energy. One more card for Pisces. The Wheel of Fortune, which is also the same card that came out for Virgo. And you have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Ram, which is Aries, so something could have happened to you back in Aries season. The Three of Swords, heartbreak, and then the Fool. The beginning of a new cycle after the World. And then, ironically, underneath that, the Ace of Swords. So kind of two new beginnings here. But there could be a decision that needs to be made here, or some type of planning that needs to be taken into account here with the Two of Wands. But let's go through this here. So you guys are potentially approaching the end of an era of your life. An entire chapter, an entire era of your life is coming to a close with the World here. The Magician and the Holy Grail, these two cards are referring to an opportunity for you guys to manifest some very, very profound and powerful and abundant changes in your life that are going to make you very happy. Because we have the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter energy, luck, fortune, favor, abundance, all of that. Like, winning the lottery type of energy, potentially literally for those of you, I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. But I would say, obviously, more metaphorically speaking. This is you reaping all of the abundance, potentially, of all of this. But again, it could also be that you're dealing with somebody who is an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. We have double Virgo here. We got Virgo in the Magician, and we have Virgo here with the Queen of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. You don't have to be, but it's the energy is strong there. Now let's find out here what this charity card is all about here. I'm unfamiliar with, this is a new deck for me, and I'm unfamiliar with what this means. Okay. This is the power of love. Charity signifies the power of agape love, which is unconditional love. No matter what the question, love is always the answer. Charity represents the compassion and understanding that makes anything possible. So let me just kind of glance down through here. There are many different types of love, but the greatest is known as agape. The universal, empathetic, and altruistic force is the most powerful grace of the divine. Although passive, it is ever burning. Let's see. The golden stairs, which is right here next to her, represent the golden rule, treating other people as the way you want to be treated. And then to the other side, the pelican will wound itself in a time of famine by striking its own breast with its beak in order to feed its young and prevent starvation. So it's making a sacrifice, willing willing to harm itself to sacrifice for the survival of others. So it says we must open our hearts to the reality that there is good in and bad in everyone. So there's a lot going on in this card. A lot of different principles, different universal laws and things, but the overarching theme of this card is unconditional love. That love is always the answer, is what this is saying. So whatever lessons that you've learned, that you're closing out, you're coming out of, all of this really is about you learning and understanding that no matter what the physical rewards and manifestations are for you as a result of coming out of this cycle, what's more important than the money, than the wealth, than the material stuff, than even a partnership or whatever you're seeking, what's even more important than all of that is the character, that the integrity, the character, and the values and the beliefs that are shaped within you, or I should say the values, integrity, and beliefs that shape your character, rather. That would probably be a better way to say it. And of all of those, unconditional love for yourself as well as for others is what the divine is highlighting here. In other words, the divine is saying with these two cards right here, we know the Sun card is the most happy card in the deck, but in here it's also representing fulfillment. And fulfillment is different than happiness. Happiness comes and goes, right? You can be happy because you were on your way, you left the house on time, you had an extra 10 or 15 minutes, which is just enough time for you to swing into Starbucks to get something on your way to work. And in this case, the stars align. You leave your house 15 minutes early, you get to Starbucks, there's no line in the drive-thru. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't even have to wait. I get to be the first person there. You go through the drive-thru, you order, everything is all the stars are lining up for you, right? It's like the perfect start to the perfect morning. And you couldn't be more happy. Like, this is amazing. I got up, had 15 extra minutes. I got to Starbucks. There was no wait. Went right through, got my thing. You get out on the highway and you go to take a sip of your drink and you find out that it's not your drink. They gave you somebody else's drink. And to make matters worse, the drink that they gave you is something that you hate. And so, but now it's too late. You don't have time to go back. You don't have time to swap it out. You don't have time to get your money back. You have to just throw it out. You have to throw it away because you hate it. You're not going to drink it. The money's gone. The drink's gone. And now that extra 15 minutes that you had that got you to Starbucks, that was even wasted. So just as fast as you were as that happiness was created, was just as quickly as it went away. Happiness comes and goes. So many things can take you out of happiness. Things are going good, you're happy. Something that you don't want to happen comes in or affects you, your happiness is gone. Happiness is not the same as fulfillment. Fulfillment is a state of being, right? This is what this is saying. This is not just the happiest card on the deck. This card is saying, hey, this is about a state of being. And the way that you find deep, deep, deep satisfaction and fulfillment is by learning this. And this unconditional agape love is what this cycle that you've just come out of was meant to teach you. So this entire season of your life that's closing out here, this chapter of your life that's closing with the World card, was meant to teach you the power of unconditional love. How to unconditionally love yourself, but how to unconditionally love other people, even to a point to where maybe people have hurt you. And the form of unconditional love that you were called to give them might have just been forgiveness and releasing, but not just forgiveness, but forgiving and releasing from the perspective of hurt people hurt people. People who betray themselves will betray other people. It's a spiritual level of insight at the highest level where you look down and say, I get it now. People can't give away what they don't have. And when people are so lost and they're so broken and they're so used to that deep level of betrayal, they're so lost in their own patterns. They live in self-preservation. They live in narcissism and survival. All that stuff is because they're disconnected from their own divinity. They're just surviving. They're in their ego. They've turned their life over to the devil card energy, their ego, and the devil's running the show. And these people who are lost, they don't know who they are. They don't know what their purpose is in life. And they think that life is about surviving at the highest level. And when life is about self-preservation, then your priority is self, because that's why it's called self-preservation. It's not called, hey, I'm out to help other people. I'm not out to help preserve other people. I'm not out to benefit other people. I'm not out to give and to bless, or to look out for anybody else. I'm here for me, and me, myself, and I alone. And I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that we get out of superficial levels of judgment when we get to a higher state of consciousness and conscious awareness. And it doesn't mean that you will tolerate that. In fact, you won't tolerate it because you'll be able to see it. You won't even invite it into your life anymore, much less attract it into your life anymore. You'll see it, but you'll see it for what it is, and you won't judge it because you'll go, they don't know any better. Those people, they don't know any better. And they're so lost in their own darkness that they can't find a way out. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, and it's not our problem to fix because that's their spiritual journey, but it doesn't mean that we can't see it and have a level of compassion for it, a level of understanding for it. A lot like, Jesus from the Bible, who got murdered and crucified, and as they're literally hanging him and torturing him, they've tortured him, they beat him, and then they nail him to the cross. And he's hanging there, and he looks down at the people who've murdered and tortured him for nothing. He did nothing wrong. And what's the famous line that he spoke? The famous words that he spoke. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's a spiritual level of compassion and empathy and understanding, where he looks at these people and he goes, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they are. They don't even know why they're murdering me. They think they know why, but they really don't. They really have no clue what they're doing. And again, it doesn't make it right, but it doesn't mean that as a victim of what people do to us, that we have to join them in their darkness. It's just a different type of darkness, right? People who harm us are doing so out of a level of corrupted judgment. And those of us who are the victims of those who harm us, when we retaliate against them with anger, hate, bitterness, and resentment, that's also a corrupted type of judgment. So even though we're not doing to them what they're doing to us, we're still using the same level of consciousness. We're still on the same level of spiritual consciousness that they are at, which is darkness. We're judging them and they're judging us. It's just that the behavior is different. We're the ones that are receiving the pain. They're the ones giving the pain. But the outcome is the same. They're perpetuating pain based on anger, hatred, bitterness, self-betrayal. And then we're the ones who are retaliating by resenting, unforgiving, and bitterness and anger back, sending that same energy back to them for the things done to us. So now you have negative energy begetting negative energy, right? It's really no different. The action and the behavior is different, but the energy behind it is no different. And so when we transcend that and we can see it for what it is, we can remove ourselves from it and we can exist at a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of being, and say, hey, I do not agree with this. I do not believe in it. It's unacceptable. It's unfortunate. I wish it was different. I wish that this person or people or whoever, I wish they were different. I wish they would wake up. I would never wish, what these people have done to me, I would never wish that on anybody else. But on the same token, I can understand why they do it. Because they're lost, they're broken. And deep down inside of them, there's so much fear, there's so much anger, there's so much hurt, there's so much selfishness because they never received love. And because they're not connected to their own divinity. So you, my Pisceans, you have this opportunity to learn this beautiful, beautiful lesson, which will, as you integrate it, because that's what the world card is about, integrating the things that we've learned. As you integrate this lesson into your being and into the character of who you are, that's how all this abundance and blessings come to you through the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is just the cause and effect or the side effect of this unconditional love. Or in other words, that's how you access this Wheel of Fortune energy. The more that you can be in this agape, unconditional love energy, the more fulfillment you experience and the more divine abundance you experience. Serendipity, miracles, fortune, blessings at the highest level. And that's how you become a powerful creator and a powerful manifester, which again gives you, with this Holy Grail energy, the manifestation of the greatest possible outcomes of the things you can get on a spiritual and physical level. But it's the tangible result of it. In other words, this is the tangible manifestation of those things. This is you in the act of manifesting it, and this is the actual tangible result of it. So a very, very powerful energy for you, very similar to Virgo's reading. Not the same, but very similar. Virgo's was more tangible, 3D, physical, like abundance. Yours includes that, but it's a lot more spiritual in essence, if that makes sense. It's a lot more spiritual in essence. So, a very powerful reading for you. Very powerful reading for you. But again, these things are not just handed to us. These are energetic possibilities. So they require our participation, which is why the Magician card is here. In other words, just sitting around and like, oh, wow, that sounds like such a good reading, Eddie. Like, that doesn't mean shit. It means that we have to keep doing our part. We have to participate in getting these outcomes, because all this reading is just a potential outcome. The key word is potential, right? And we are the magicians, we are the ones who ultimately determine if this potential becomes a tangible reality. All right. All right, you guys have 2. Surrender to complete healing. Yeah. So all this work that you've been doing on yourself that we've been talking about here, this card, surrender to complete healing, is just everything that I said a second ago. So I'm not going to repeat it, but I'm going to read what the card says. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Everything attached to that charity card again. Just said in a different way. And then surrender low self-esteem. So any part of you that is not connected to this new you that you're becoming, that's what you have to surrender and let go of. That's part of the energy that you're closing out of. It's like any type of low self-esteem, low self-worth, all of that stuff, which is energy of you betraying yourself. That's what you're needing to let go of to heal and come into this charity energy of this card here. So this one says, you deserve success, love, and abundance, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So it's saying, as you evaluate yourself and you move forward through June, as you identify any parts of you that might show up that are attached to some old, outdated version of yourself that's low self-esteem, notice it, recognize it, surrender it, and deal with it, and let it go. So really, really, really amazing stuff for you here, Pisces. And then again, the Queen of Pentacles along with the Holy Grail. These two cards are representing the tangible results of doing the work. So more abundance, financially, physically, in your health, in your body, with your family, and just whatever else it is that you're trying to manifest here. But I think ultimately, more than anything, any one thing specifically, is just the fact that you're actually going to finally start to feel alive again, fulfilled. Remember, happiness is not the same as fulfillment. You're going to start feeling alive again. The sun is life. The sun brings life. The sun is life energy. And in astrology, the sun represents the soul or the self. So this is bringing life, you coming to life again, and finding that fulfillment that maybe you haven't really deeply experienced in a long time. And I think for many of you, just having that feeling and sensation back inside of you after many, many years of not experiencing it, for many of you, that alone will feel like the Wheel of Fortune blessing. But that's not all. That's not all that there is going to be for you. There's going to be other things coming to you for sure. But the fulfillment of you coming home to the you that you've always really wanted to become, that will be priceless. Tangible shit comes and goes. Money comes and goes. People come and go. Stuff comes and goes. Jobs come and go. Success comes and goes. Who you are is what's constant. And if you don't love and you don't like who you are, then it doesn't matter what stuff that you have. You just have a bunch of shit to distract you from the misery of the thing that you can't escape. But when you love who you are, then you're no longer running from it. You're not trying to escape it, which means that the things that you have are now just additional opportunities for you, additional things for you to bring fulfillment and enjoyment to a fulfilled self that you already exist as. And that's the beauty of what this is. So hopefully this makes sense for you. And if there's any other cross watchers, hopefully that you guys have enjoyed the reading. And I love and appreciate all of you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you soon. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the other information is in the description box below. And as always, my friends,
I'm not a bloody psychic.